Hi, my name is Jen. I'm from the Deer Run Bed and Breakfast on Big Pine Key in Florida. Welcome to day number 8 of Vegan Month of Food 2016. You can also follow us at our blog, www.happyvegans.blogspot.com, our Facebook page, and our YouTube channel. Before I go any further, I want to mention that in my country, which is the United States of America, today is Election Day. It's been a shitstorm the last 18 months, but it's all worth it because I got an I voted sticker with a conch shell on it. The rest of the country gets an I voted sticker with an American flag, but we're special down here. We get conch shells. So that's done and over. Today's prompt is dig deep, far-flung lands. What's on the opposite side of the world from where you are? Well, there's an app for that. There really is. And we learned that the opposite side of the world for us is the Indian Ocean, or the closest landmass would be Australia. Since my vegan sushi skills are really not up to par, I went with Australia because it's very exotic. I hope to visit there someday. They got beaches and they also have koala bears. So we're going to talk about two things today. One is something called the Anzac biscuit, and the other is a koala. So an Anzac biscuit apparently came into existence around the World War I effort. This was a little bit of a war ration, I guess, basically. Very basic ingredients that you'll scroll down. You can see the link that I've given you. And the folklore is the wives would send them to the men at the front lines. And they were called a hardtack biscuit. Biscuit basically is a cookie. Mine came out hard on the outside, a little chewy on the inside, and I took a recipe from the Australian Department of Veterans Affairs, so I think it's kind of authentic. I'm hoping that it is. The reality is a little bit different from the folklore, and it seems that these were made for fundraisers and galas, and actually still are to this day. Anzac is highly regulated. It's from the, why can't I find it? Something like the Australian and New Zealand Army Corps, Anzac. That's what it is. So that's where that term comes from. And this is a very beloved cookie, apparently, in Australia. So they keep very well, supposedly, blah, blah, blah. There you go. That's an Anzac biscuit. They're really good. The other thing that drew me to Australia, other than the fact that it qualifies for being the other side of the world for us, they have koalas over there. And koalas are not an endangered species, but they're listed as something called a vulnerable species in that country. A lot of their habitat, I think I read 80% of their habitat has been lost to urbanization, bushfires, and drought. It's a really sad story. Koalas are not bears, they're marsupials. When they're born, they spend their first 6 months in mommy's pouches. When they're born, they're the size of a broad bean. They're blind and hairless. You gotta love that. After 6 months, the next 2 to 3 months are spent on their mommy's arm in the daytime. They go tuck in the pouch at night, and they form extremely close bonds. They eat eucalyptus trees, and they live in eucalyptus trees. There's over 100 eucalyptus tree species in Australia, but the koalas only eat the leaves off of 12 of them, and not only that, the leaves have to be at a certain point of growth for them to eat. Also, koalas get most of their moisture from the leaves. Koala means no water or no drink in the native Aboriginal language, so I thought that was interesting too. Koalas are protected by law. There are sanctuaries that exist for them now. They were hunted relentlessly in the early 20th century for their fur, but I was not surprised to read that because humans ruin everything. So the koalas are moved when able to better areas that are less urbanized, but it's a terrible plight for them over there based upon what I've been reading. So look out for our fuzzy little friends, little koalas, and enjoy some Anzac biscuits. If you scroll to the end of the video on the blog, you're going to see the link for this authentic Anzac biscuit recipe that I used, and I hope you'll give it a try. Okay, far flung. See you next time.